So much for joining me on this edition of State of the State. I am Sunday Kolawole. This week we'll be looking at the preparedness of political parties for the forthcoming Ondo governorship election billed for November the 16th, 2024. The party I'm bringing on board today is the Zenith Labour Party, ZLP. And joining me for the conversation is the governorship candidate of the ZLP, Alhaji Dr. Abbas Mimiko. Thank you so much for joining me on State of the State.
Thank you.
It's good to have you join.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's start the conversation. I'd like to know what's exactly your motivation in this election. Your brother was governor in this state for 8 years. Why are you coming up? Is it now family affairs?
Thank you, SK. Viewers at home, good evening. I'm Dr. Alhaji Abbas Mimiko, the governorship candidate for Zenith Labour Party in the November election. And why are we in this race? It's not a family affair, SK. I like to say, when the sea is calm, anyone can pilot a boat or a ship. But when there is turbulence on the sea, you are looking for a capable captain. You are looking for capable hands to pilot your ship to safety. Ondo State is in troubled times. And so, if people who have the know-how sit back and let people who have no commitment to the people to keep running the show, we're driving off a cliff and the consequences will be disastrous for all of us. So I've looked at the terrain and I think there's need to rescue Ondo State from this brink where we have found ourselves, when we can't feed, we can't go to school, nothing is normal again. The new normal here is an abnormal. So that's why I said I'm coming out to run for governor. Yes, it's not a family affair. My brother was governor, he did well, and I'm proud of him. But this is not Iroko's game. This is a mandate of getting out to rescue Ondo State from the clutch of poverty, of penury, of disease, of sorrow and sadness.
Your brother is not in the Zenith Labour Party. You are in the Zenith Labour Party contesting the governorship seat of Ondo State under the platform of ZLP. Why ZLP?
Yes, the fact that Iroko belongs to PDP and I belong to Zenith Labour Party makes the point that I'm my own man. This is not about Iroko. He did this time and he did well. Why is Zenith Labour Party? When we intended to start this party some years ago, we were looking for a platform that will be a social democratic platform, so properly called, that will have the idea that the people must come first, the greater good for the greatest number of people.
You were looking for social democratic party so properly called.
Yes.
That's a party so called.
No, platform.
A platform.
A social democratic platform, which essentially states that the wealthy has the right to grow, but the downtrodden, the left behind, must also be given hands up. Government must intervene frontally in combating issues that affect the general populace. You can leave education, you can leave healthcare to the fact that let everybody let each person do his or her own thing. Government must intervene, must chart the course for certain elements in the developmental paradigm that is essential for the well-being of the generality of the people. That's what Zenith Labour Party is all about. That's not what PDP is all about. PDP power. Zenith Labour Party Greater Nigeria. We say Jafuri, Jafun Tesiwaju Ipinle Ondo. Generality of the people will be the forefront of our mandate.
What are the chances of the ZLP in this contest, especially when you look at what many have termed structure to work with? So some are even asking whether or not you are serious in your ambition, or maybe you will be collapsing your structure for another candidate when the election draws nearer than this.
We are winning. We are in this race to win. We are headed for Alagbaka. We're changing the narrative for the people of Ondo State. What are our chances of winning? Much is said about the fact that APC has structure, PDP has structure. What structure are we talking about? The people of Ondo State are our own structure, and the people will determine this. What structure do they have? What structure can APC in Ondo State boast of when a cup of gari is selling for 200 naira? A single egg is selling for 200 naira. When people can no longer buy rice, they can't even buy fish, they can't feed their children. Children are going to school on empty stomach. Their school buses have been taken away from them. What structure are we talking about? Or is it PDP that was running the show? The candidate of PDP, Agbola Ajayi, was deputy governor for 4 years. Nothing to show for it. Ayedatiwa came on, His Excellency, another 4 years now, nothing to show for it. So what are they talking about?
What are the chances of your party? Why do you think the people of Ondo State will look at your party a second time and feel that they could give you an opportunity? Why?
One, because they are tired with the old order, where everything is going to hell, literally. Two, I am a well-known person in Ondo State. I'm known as a person of integrity. I put my mouth, I stand by my word. I have the know-how. I'll be able to lead Ondo State properly onto the promised land. And why are we talking about not having structure? We are represented in the 203 wards of Ondo State. Look at the time of the primaries. We had our own primaries in the 203 wards seamlessly. No complaint. Look at APC primaries, riddled with rigging and malpractice. Ditto PDP. So they have nothing to campaign upon.
Now let's move this conversation a bit forward. I'd like to know if you have the support and blessing of your brother, former governor of Ondo State. Of course, you should expect I will go to that angle. And I'm asking you this because there are concerns in many spheres that your brother, the former governor of Ondo State, has soft touch or sympathy or support for the incumbent governor of Ondo State, Loki Aiyedatiwa. As a matter of fact, when you also look at the crop of spokesperson for the current administration, the spokesperson of former governor is also one of them, one of the spokespersons in this administration. So if you're putting one and one together, does not it seem that he will be supporting the incumbent and not his own brother in the forthcoming election?
SK, it does not matter. Whether Iroko supports Aiyedatiwa or supports Agbola, I'm my own man. I'm winning on my manifesto. I'm winning on the fact that Ondo State needs purposeful leadership. So if Iroko, my brother, decides to support Aiyedatiwa, he is a free man. That points something out to us. He has his own political trajectory, I have my own. Yes, he did very well as governor of Ondo State, and I was one of the backbones of that administration, despite the fact that I had no political office. But in terms of the think tank that performed the so-called wonders of the Iroko administration, definitely I was there. So it does not really matter which party he supports. I'm not campaigning on the achievements of Iroko. I'm not campaigning and saying, hey, my brother, raise my hand up. No. Why does a governor need a big brother to shepherd him? I'm trying to lead the almost 6 million people of Ondo State. So we are running on our own agenda. Let Aiyedatiwa, His Excellency, come out with his own agenda. Let us see. He wants to do agriculture. So he says. We say, well, you were governor. You were acting governor for almost a year. You've been governor substantially for 7 months. You haven't planted a single corn, no yam, no cassava. What we are hearing is SC mobilization.
So you're saying that you want to go into this election as in your own capacity?
We are going into this election, SK, as Zenith Labour Party, Dr. Olubanshile Abbas Mimiko. I have the education, I have the pedigree. Look, I'm a medical doctor. I'm a psychiatrist, board certified by the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology. I'm an agropreneur, so I know where it hurts. When you see a farmer's farm, cocoa farm being bulldozed, I know how they feel. I know where the shoe pinches. So we are running on the 7 Ks of prosperity. Karije, we're going to banish hunger from Ondo State within 1 year. Food security for all. We're going to raise at least 5,000 to 10,000 hectares of cultivated land in every local government. We are going to make sure our citizens have gainful employment through it. We're going to have food banks in the 203 wards of Ondo State, where people can go with their card and buy subsidized food. We are going to make sure we have SMEs, small and medium scale enterprise, scattered all over the state. We're going to be producing our tomato, our pepper, our tint, our corned beef, our sardines, everything. We have our rice, we have our beans, everything that we eat will produce in Ondo State. So that is Karije. Karimu talks about potable water for every citizen. We are going to make sure that every local government has a borehole rig. Each will drill a borehole a day. In 30 days, in 1 year, that gives you 300 boreholes per local government. In 4 years, that's 1,200 boreholes. You figure, there's no local government that will have 1,200 boreholes that won't have sufficient.
So if you as governor would be drilling boreholes in local government, what would local government administrators be doing? Or are you planning to steal local government administration?
When they talk about,
if you're given the chance to govern on those states, are you planning to cripple local government administration? Because if you're taking up the duties that's expected of local governments, those little things like drilling boreholes, these access roads and all of that, does that mean you won't allow local government to work?
SK, little things you say. Water determines the health of the people. There's nothing little about that. Food shortage makes or breaks a community. Our people are hungry. Children are going to school on empty stomachs and they are fainting inside classroom. These are not little things. The local governments that constitute a state are like the federating units of a state. The governor rules over the entire state. So the local governments, the 18 local governments of Ondo State will be my business. I will partner with the local government administration, chart the course for them, and make sure that our people get the dividends of democracy within the hamlet, the villages, the towns, the cities. So there's nothing like
it's easier, Dr. Minu. It's very easier for politicians. Now, you've been in the private sector for a long time. You're coming to political space now. Maybe I should first even come to that part. You're coming to the political space, and the first thing you're going for is governorship, not chairmanship, not a House of Assembly. Why? Why are you not taking it little by little?
Well, what is little by little? The ship of the state is drowning. Children are literally starving to death. Malnutrition rate in Ondo State is 33%.
How much do you know Ondo State that you feel that you could be governor?
I know Ondo State like the palm of my hand. I was born here. I did my primary education St. Paul's Primary School in Ondo State. I did my secondary school St. Joseph's College in Ondo State. I went to University of Lagos, worked in Lagos State for a while, went to the United States of America, came back to Ondo State to work. I'm an employer of labor in Ondo State. So I actually know. I'm not some candidate who came out of Lagos after spending many years in their business life to come and rule over us. I didn't come out of the blues. I know Ondo State very well. I know if we have Karije, food security, Karimu, potable water for everyone, Karina, rapid and aggressive industrialization to take our people out of these doldrums of poverty. A community, a country that does not produce cannot progress. We are going to turn Ondo State into the production powerhouse of Nigeria. Karika, we are going to have educational opportunities for every citizen of Ondo State. We are the education state. Where are we now? We are at the bottom of the education platform of Nigeria. We're going to drop tuition for us. Tertiary institutions, we're going to give our students bursary.
Correct. Just a moment. How correct is it that Ondo State is at the bottom in terms of education development? Let me give you some statistics. Just today, this came out of the list of those who top the JAM, UTME JAM, and Ondo State is atop that list, followed by Edo State, and then you find all other states coming behind Ondo State. So does that justify or contradict your assertion?
My brother, if you take just one student that scored 350 in JAM, and use that as a benchmark for the educational performance of Ondo State. That doesn't hold. This is a state where teachers are complaining every day, where the students are going to school on empty stomach, where many students cannot pay for their WAEC or GCE because their parents are poor, where school buses have been taken away and children are going to school being beaten by rain. And we are talking of they're doing so well.
Which school buses were taken from students?
You don't know. You live in Ondo State.
Of course, you're making...
8 years ago.
I just need you to substantiate.
8 years ago, we had school buses carrying 60,000 students to school in the 18 local governments. This current administration came on board, parked the buses. Maybe they think our children are too, maybe children of the poor don't deserve the largesse of...
Maybe I ask you